Good morning, students. Hope you are all fine. In continuation with economics, today I am here to start with a new chapter titled Types of Economies. What is the title? Types of Economies. Students, you are familiar with the term economy. What is the meaning of the term economy? Economy means a system which enables you, which helps you to generate livelihood. Basic aim of you and me is to have survival, and for that what do we need? We need income. So economy as a system enables you to generate this income. In this system, what do we have? We have certain rules and regulations to keep you in discipline. We have all four economic activities. What are economic activities? That is production, consumption, distribution, and exchange. So, in economy, we are going to have a combination of all these things. To make better working of an economy, we are here to classify it into two types. The first type, that who is going to have a ownership. You know that the resources whatever are available to us, it is being divided into four types: natural resources, human resources, man-made resources, financial resources. Who owns all these resources? Under whose control all these resources are? Who manages them? Who regulates them? Who controls them? So according to that, we have got different type of economies which we will do in this chapter step to step. The second base on which we are here to classify our economy on the basis of growth. Now what is this growth? I am teaching 9B, someone else is teaching 9B. We are making use of all the resources available to you. We are here to enhance your knowledge for English, for economics, for commercial studies. But what is your growth? How much are you able to attain? Are you going to have knowledge only about the subject? Or we are going to have your personality grooming, personality development, a character building, all these things related to the term growth. So, like you, we are here to discuss about your personality, about your growth. Same way, an economy is also here to be discussed with respect to its growth. Whether we are focusing just to have a growth or we are here to go for your overall development. So these are the two things which we will discuss on the chapter types of economies. To start with, let's discuss classification of economy on the basis of ownership. Students, just now I told you that there are various type of resources available to us. The question is this: under whose control are these resources? Obviously, if the government is here, so they should be under the control of a government. There is no question, there is no doubt, but it is not the case. We are having two basic bodies who are here to work upon these resources. What are those? In your sense, in a common man language, we are going to call it as a public sector and private sector. Public sector means the sector which is owned, regulated, governed by government or by its representatives at a state level, at a district level, at a block level. And private means you and me. So the resources, either it can be owned, managed, regulated by a government or by a private. So keeping this thing in mind, we are here to discuss three types of economies on the basis of ownership. What are types? Three types. And how we are going to call them? The first is to be studied as a capitalism. Second is socialism. And the third one is mixed economy. We are going to discuss about one by one. Before I am going to start, I am here to tell you that if there is a question about capitalism, we are going to discuss about its meaning, features, merits and demerits. In a paper, we can be asked about a particular heading explain this feature as a this category as a main feature of capitalism. That I will let you know, but here you have to understand that what are the key and basic terms related with the term capitalism. As it is clear from the term capitalism, capitalism means where capitalization is there. Capitalization means where we do have a profit motive as our main aim. So when I am going to work for profits, obviously there is no role to be played by the government. So the first point is there is no government under capitalism. All the resources are owned, controlled, managed, supplied, regulated by whom? By private sector. It may be a group or it can be an individual, it depends, but all the resources are under the control of private sector, private individual. No government has any role to be played. So this is all about meaning of capitalism. As I told you that there is a private sector who is dominating, there is no government. So it means in a capitalistic economy, the dominating factor is what? The dominating factor is a private sector. And how will this private sector work? Private sector will work with the help of market forces. Altogether, it's a new term for you. You must have seen that in the market, I told last lecture, I taught you about the meaning of the term market. So in market, what do we have? There is a presence of buyer and buyer and seller. So what does this buyer do? Buyer creates a demand. And what does seller do? He is here to supply. So these are two market forces. The first market forces is to be called as a demand and the other market forces is known as supply. In detail about these two forces we will study in class 10. But at present I am telling you in capitalistic economy the role of market forces is too much. Because where these two forces meet each other, where these forces will intersect each other, that will be the point prices will be determined. And that market is going to have functioning, or that market is going to accept this price. Buyer has to pay this price and seller has to sell the goods at given price, which is being set up by market forces. The system where there is no role to be played by the government, what is that system called as? Yes, it is a feature of a capitalistic economy, but what is a term which is to be called as where there is no role to be played by the government? That system is called as laissez-faire economy. What is that called as? Laissez-faire economy. So main feature of capitalistic economy is what? That we do have a presence of laissez-faire. Laissez-faire means there is no role to be played by the government. So what do we have? Consumer is the king of that market. Whatever consumer wants, I am going to make use of my resources for the purpose of that only. So if I have to conclude about the features of capitalistic economy, yes, all the resources are owned by private sector. You have a freedom to make a choice. You have a freedom to produce. You have a freedom to consume. And there is a main motive of profit. Okay. As there is a main motive, we are working for profit. So where there is a question about profit, definitely we are here to work for competition. So after discussing about features, the next thing which we are here, that is to discuss about its merits. What are its various merits? So the first merit, as I told you that what do I have? I have got competition. And where there is a competition, I am not supposed to have any kind of wastage of resources. You know what are we aiming for as a rational economy? As a rational economy, our purpose is to have optimum, efficient and effective utilization of resources. So this is the thing which we are going to have as a merit of capitalism, that there is going to be an optimum utilization of resources. When resources are being utilized properly, yes, there will be a variety of goods available for consumption, and that too will be at a cheap rate because competition is there. So cost cutting will go on, and you are here to provide a best to the consumer so that maximum consumer is going to be with you. So the purpose is variety with cheap. You are going to get goods in their best of condition in lot of variety. You can see at present, if you are here interested to buy a phone, mobile phone, you are here to going to the market to buy, you are not going to just have to do the selection among two or three phones only. There is lot of variety. One phone is having this feature, one phone is having this feature, and accordingly there is a different range of prices. So what is the purpose? That producer is aiming to give best to the consumer at a cheap rate, so that they are going to capture the maximum size of market. Yes, in case of capitalistic economy, what is another feature? That you are going to be rewarded as per your efforts. Reward is there if you will work. If you will not work, there will not be having any reward, there will not be having any incentive. So in case of capitalistic economy, more work means more incentive, more wages. So these are the features of your capitalistic economy, that in case of capitalistic economy, you are, yes, because there is a competition, and as per efforts you are going to get it. So it leads to exploitation also, but that we will discuss as a demerit, right? But here, because of efforts, you are going to generate your income. So what will happen? Employment will generate. If employment is there, income generation will be there. Income generation is there means there will be more production, and more production means I will have economic growth. So these are all the features of, these are all the merits of capitalistic economy. Now with these merits, the next we are here to discuss about its demerits, because if a particular thing has got advantages, definitely it will have disadvantage also. Everything has got its own pros and cons. So what is the biggest demerit, disadvantage of a capitalistic economy? That it leads to unemployment, and it leads to exploitation of labor. This is the biggest disadvantage. Exploitation means I am not going to have any kind of humanity over there. I am not consider whether you are sick, you are not in a position to do the work, or you have some family problem. Sorry, no consideration. If you have come to the work, that is not going to solve the purpose. Coming to the work and giving performance, only then you will be rewarded. So capitalistic economy is going to exploit you, and that is the biggest drawback. The second biggest drawback of capitalistic economy is the gap between rich and poor. Inequality. Gap between rich and poor. What is this called as? This is called as income disparity. What it is called as? Income disparity. Disparity means a kind of imbalance, a kind of you can say not proportionate to each other. You and me are working for same hours, but you are able to generate more income. I am not able to generate that much income. So in case of capitalistic economy, the bridge, the gap between rich and poor is widened. It is going to be more, and concentration of economic wealth is there. And what I am here to tell you, it means that the rich will become more richer and the poor will become poorer. So the inequality is going to be there. Hope it is clear. Next feature, next demerit of capitalistic economy, misallocation of resources. What is it? Misallocation of resources. Misallocation because your main purpose is to go for profits. You are not working for welfare, you are not working for goodwill. You are just simply working how to maximize your profits. So you are not able to see, or you are not here to see whether this thing is being required by one and all, or this thing is being required by a few people. Is it to be taken as a necessity, or is it to be taken as a luxury? No. You will see that by producing this particular thing, your profits are going to be maximum. So you would like to produce only that thing, irrespective of that this thing, that this is not going to provide to all the sections of society. No, that is not your cup of coffee, because you are going to have only profits. So if only one section of society needs that thing, but they are ready to make you the payment, definitely you are going to make use of resources for the production of that particular thing. So this is a these are all the demerits of capitalistic economy, and because of this we are not going to have a balanced growth. There will be a kind of unbalanced growth. There will be a kind of a, you can say, one part will grow and the other part will remain as it is only. If I am here to tell you which countries have got capitalistic economy, so at present we are here to say ki okay, USA and all these countries are under the conditions of capitalistic economy. Hope it is clear. Thank you.